That's right, that's right. It's Friday, it's 6 p.m., which means only one thing. It's time for the Suck It and Fit Show. Yes, it's 6 o'clock on a Friday. It's my favourite time of the week. It means that it's time for me to put my teeth back in and play some indie rock and roll bangers. I've got Rob Johnson in the studio with me. Hello, Rob. No, I haven't. He's in Margate. Yeah, that's right. Rob's away this week in Margate, smiling from ear to ear, as you can see from that picture. So I'm going to have a couple of guests later on in the show. A little bit more music than we usually play to make up for the lack of subpar banter that me and Rob usually provide. And we'll also be doing the usual Weller Watch. We've got banging playlist of indie tunes and the Power Half Hour, and our special guest DJ Ainsley Gregson will be tuning in very shortly. Going to kick off with a band from Brighton that I absolutely love, The Demonstrations. We were going to try and book these guys to play up in Manchester in a pre-COVID world. Sadly, that didn't happen. However, they've got a new tune out and a new video on YouTube. It's absolutely belting. Once again, they're from Brighton. They're called The Demonstrations, and this is their new track, King Craig. That was Brighton's Demonstrations with King Craig. I absolutely love that track. I think it's belting. There's a lot of really good music coming out of Brighton at the moment. We've played the likes of Gaff Tape Sandy before. Of course, they're historically very influential city for music. Obviously, Brighton Institute Music's from down there. They've now moved up to Manchester. The likes of Maccabees, all sorts. There's a long-standing history of great music coming from the South Coast, which I can only assume will continue throughout the coming months and years. So check out those guys if you can. They are called The Demonstrations, and they're a really, really good band. Music news. This just in. For fans of Miles Kane, the Rascals, and the Last Shadow Puppets, and very other guises that our favourite Liverpool singer-songwriter has entered under the years, he's got a new supergroup. You might have heard of these guys. They've been knocking about for a couple of years. Nothing new in terms of their live shows. But they've actually announced they're releasing an album on the 2nd of October this year. They're called The Jaded Hearts Club. I believe, and it's I think it's Matt Bellamy from Muse on bass. Weirdly enough, moved from guitar to bass. Miles Kane on lead vocals. I think there's a proper super group. There's people from many bands. I think there's 5 of them all together, all from various different already big bands. So check out those guys when you get a chance. Shout out to Lindsay, who's already tuned in, multitasking with the cricket as always. Sadly, there won't be any cricket updates or banter or other cricket related discussions on today's show, purely for the fact that I know nothing about cricket, and as I mentioned before, Rob's in Margate. So be it. But what I have got for you is tons of cracking new music and Alan Partridge-esque gags. I'm going to move up north with this next one. Just been sent this today by a gentleman under the name of Pink Salmon. Brand new project coming out of Manchester City Centre. This is the first track they've released. I was completely blown away by this one today. So it's with great pride and pleasure that I'm actually giving this track its first ever radio play tonight on Manchester Radio Online. It's called Birds in the House. It's how to describe it. It's some sort of weird, extreme combination that sits between, I'd say, Jungle, Arctic Monkeys, Parliament, and maybe even a little bit of a placebo in there as well. It's absolutely belting. Give this a listen. It's out on YouTube and all good platforms, and it is called Birds in the House.
Lemonade, Oxford, knee-highs, made of suede. And did you see him tonight? And did you get a taste? Now we're just two birds in the house. Now we're just two birds in the house. Sex and infidelity on the Davenport couch tonight. If you've got a fantasy in that little black book, then we can make it happen. There's so much that we can do. So many ways. Now we're just two birds in the house. Now we're just two birds in the house. Now we're just two birds in the house. Don't you love it when we get that funny feeling? Like you think your house is burning down. Or guilty mornings, who is calling? What is bound to get?
Blimey, absolutely blown away with that one. It's an absolute banger, probably my tune of the week, and certainly maybe one out of any of the ones we've got playlisted tonight. No offense to any of the other bands that we've got playlisted tonight, but yeah, totally blew me away, that one. Brand new artist, it's first ever radio play they've ever had. I predict big things, so keep your peepers peeled out for Pink Salmon later this year. We've got like I say, very diverse playlist of quality music for you tonight. Some old favourites, some new ones. We've of course got the Power Half Hour at 7:30. So please get in touch with your requests. As of yet, it's an open page, an empty book, a clean slate, ready to be filled with your fantastic track requests. So get them in. Shout out to Bernadette who's tuned in. Nature TV, regular listeners as always. Actually, regular features on the show as well, Nature TV. So thanks guys for tuning in. We also have our Weller Watch, which is actually fresh from Margate. As I mentioned, I'm on my own today, as you might see. Nobody around me, because Rob's out on the Raz, as he puts it, in Margate Town Centre. A lot going on in Margate. We'll find out more in Weller Watch. In the meantime, I'm going to play you a brand new, fresh as a daisy track. One of the bands that we love, Deja Vega. The album was absolutely amazing last year. We loved it. We loved seeing them at Confessional. I went to see them at Deaf Institute as well. They've just announced this week that they're on tour next year. Hopefully when gigs are back. Fingers crossed gigs are back soon. Deja Vega will be on tour next year. They've just announced a load of dates. They're doing Club Academy in Manchester. They're doing the Broodnell in Leeds. They're doing the Green Door Store in Brighton. Can't remember where they're doing in Liverpool, but they're doing a full UK tour. So wherever you are, get yourself a ticket down to see them. This is their new single that's just been released, part of an upcoming EP produced by the wonderful Ben Booker. More about him later. And this one is called Spitting Gas.
Spitting gas.
That was Spitting Gas by Deja Vega. If you haven't seen them live, like I say, they've just released a whole string of dates for the next UK tour, and I can't speak highly enough of them. They're a three-piece. They've got such a massive sound between them, really cool look. The album's amazing. Get them down, get them on your Spotify, give them a listen, and get yourself some tickets to go and see them next year. Big shout out to Jeff from Lade, regular listener who's just tuned in. How you doing, Jeff? Give us a shout if you want any tunes for the Power Half Hour. We've got our little guest coming up soon, none other than Suck It and Spin resident DJ Ainsley Gregson. He'll be joining us for a little bit in Rob's absence. Rob, of course, is on the Raz in Margate. Get in touch. We've got an open Power Half Hour at the minute. We still haven't had any requests in. So come on, text me, talk to me, send me some love. I'm completely on my own at the minute, and I really don't know what to do with myself. I haven't even got a beer. How bad's that? Friday night. Let me know what you're drinking. Get in touch. Just tell me something. Give me something to go on. Anyway, we've got a massive, fun-filled evening for you. We've got a cracking Weller Watch that's coming from my partner in crime, Mr. Rob Johnston. He's living it up in Margate, yeah, as Lindsay rightly has worded there, and he's left me to deal with you guys on my own. So please get in touch. Let me know what you want to hear. I'm going to get on to a bit more music news. We heard last week that the music have announced a huge gig just outside of Leeds with fellow Leedsites, the Cribs. That's going to be an amazing show last year. I've already seen a few people today posted on Facebook. They managed to get hold of tickets. So if you're one of them, congratulations on copying tickets for that. I have no doubt that that'll be an excellent show. Excellent show. I think even the Coral were on that lineup as well. There's a lineup full of bands that begin with the word "the." Or hopefully they might do a pop punk version next year, which is only with bands with numbers in the name. Blink 182, Green Day 96, those sort of ones. Anyway, on to more new music. We've got plenty on the table today. But what I'm going to go with now is a little bit from a new release on one of our favourite labels, Speedy Wonderground. Speedy Wonderground, for those of you who don't know, they're home to Lazarus Kane, who we've played a few times. They're home to the Lounge Society, who we've played a few times. We're a big fan of Speedy Wonderground. It's Dan Carey's label, and they are celebrating their 30th single release. So happy 30th to Speedy Wonderground. This one is by Sinead O'Brien, and it is called Taking on Time.
This that I am moving towards the world. This that I am taking on time. Moving off into the distance to get closer again. Moving down the line to start only once again. Take me to the walled city to define the limits more clearly. Take me to the walled city. This that I am. Possessed by ideas. I am no more a thinker than a prisoner of dreams. A plague of enlightenment is no great gain. In change to my own creation. Order and chaos that stain my name. Order and chaos make a daily stake. Possessed by ideas, now I take on time. Now I take on time. Everything here matters. Everything here matters. It's all in a frame. Stay just this way. Nothing should change. Forever we're standing inside frames. To transcend the world of things we see so untruly from inside frames. Everything here matters. Nothing ever happens. Name the thing. I dreamed of a prison. Everything I wanted looking out with no way back in. I watched the elevator rise and fall where the hills should. I watched the walls where the skies would. I thought I was brave, that I wasn't afraid. Have I missed my call? Are we late? At the deafening dawn, at the break of the chains, outside the limelight, get closer again, moving down the line to start only once again. Take me to the walled city to define the limits more clearly. Take me to the walled city, this that I am.
Sorry, I believe that my microphone wasn't on there. Nice one. Good work. So we have this just in music news. The man himself, the proclaimed god of the world right now, Kanye West, has been hospitalized. Yes, he was taken into hospital yesterday as a result, a condition on his right wrist that was the apparent cause of too much texting. Yes, you heard that correctly. Too much texting. Kanye West is in hospital because he's texting too much. I am reading this off the prompter, by the way. I'm not making it up as I go along. He had to be given a dose of lidocaine. Now, I don't know what that does, but it sounds like a fun Friday night in the West household. And he's now been released since. So, yeah, apparently that's what texting too much can do. Don't know if that constitutes music news, but NME were all over it anyway. I'm going to stick with some real music news. Once again, happy 30th to Speedy Wonderground. We've just played you Sinead O'Brien there with her new track Taking on Time. That's actually the 30th single release from Speedy Wonderground, Dan Carey's label. They have nothing but bangers coming out, so really good to hear that one. I really enjoyed it, and everything, like I said, the Home to the Lounge Society, Lazarus came, loads of artists we play on the show. So yeah, we're very happy to play that one, and a big happy 30th to the guys at Speedy Wonderground. We've got some more tracks to play here. This next one, I'm going to dedicate this one to my parents who tune in and listen every single week. They're a new one of the new generation who've got I won't say it on air because it will trigger it, but they've got one of those Google devices Amazon devices, whereby when you shout its name, it responds and does things for you. So you can tell it, for example, to turn on the lights or tune into Suck It and Spin Radio. That's always a good one to ask it. Listen to Manchester Radio Online. But there's a band called The Cool Greenhouse, new single out last week from London. And if anyone has one of these Amazon devices, whose name I shall not utter on air for fear of disrupting your current airwaves, I want you to tweet in and let me know if this track actually causes any disturbances. It is called which I obviously won't say on air. It's by The Cool Greenhouse, and it goes a little something like this.
You're part of the family now, and you are so loved. the way you laugh maniacally at me in the middle of the night for no reason, and the way you smell like polystyrene drying out on a tranquil summer's evening. Can't get enough of your dulcet tones, your terrible jokes, your love of kayaking, and the way you couldn't care less that everything I say is painfully obvious and incredibly boring, cause you're the kind of girl who could spend an interesting evening with a grain of salt. And the fact you decline so many marriage proposals, well, that gets me pretty hot. In the beginning was the word, and you've been down since day one. Alexa, set the alarm for 3 a.m. and turn the heating all the way up. Alexa, order a copy of the Cool Greenhouse's new record. Purchase 10 tickets to all of their shows. Alexa, call Mom. Hey Cortana, set a timer for 1 minute and 16 seconds. Hey Google, play the song Alexa by the Cool Greenhouse.
I don't know that one.
And there's only one thing I like more than a stereotypically subservient female automaton, and that's a stereotypically subservient female automaton that's unbelievably crap at its job, cause when you're asked to play girl band, you play the Shangri-Las. I also like the Shangri-Las. And when you're asked to play us, you call the greenhouse suppliers, and you show a clear preference for the white middle class. And it's a shame you won't live, but then again, who does? Alexa, open the pod bay doors. And I wonder, who monitors your toilet breaks? Alexa, email my credit card details to my contacts list. And write me an undeniably clever final line.
That was the Cool Greenhouse with Alexa. Oh God, no, I'm not supposed to say that, am I? I've had reports that song does trigger the lights on the little blue devices, but doesn't quite cause any interference. Although I might just have by reading them out on air. If so, sorry. If you do fancy just subscribing to all the Suck It and Spin channels though while you're at it, just tell her to do that and she will do. Cracking tune that. Really love the concept, really love the band. We've got loads of great music coming up for you, but we also have Weather Watch and the Power Half Hour. Get your requests in. We've already got a couple of requests trickling in, but there's still plenty of room in the Power Half Hour for whatever bangers you wish. We might play some more of the music. We might play some more of the Cribs, seeing as their gig went on sale this morning and was definitely well received. We've got loads of great new music as well. Ainsley, our DJ in residence, when we have our clubs night, will be jumping on the stream at some point to bring us some of his favourite new tracks. And we've just got a whole host of great music for you. Rob has been in touch from Margate. I don't know if anyone's ever been to Margate. He's spotted a well-known Margate resident while he's been in his travels around there. So more of that in the Weather Watch just after 7 o'clock. It's my first ever Weather Watch, this one. I usually leave this one to Rob, but for once, Rob is the guest on his own show, and I'll be doing the Weather Watch in his place. In the meantime, let's go back down to Brighton, shall we? This is a band called Public Body. This single was out last month. It's really, really good. I'm surprised we didn't pick up on this one quicker, but I really enjoy it. It's called Ask Me Later. The band's called Public Body, and let's give this one a whirl, shall we?
Healthy eating, initial search upon the 7 6 on how to run a
That was Public Body from Brighton with their track Ask Me Later. Reminds me a little bit of Later the Pier, that one. If anyone's ever, has anyone ever remembered those guys right in the mid-noughties, Later the Pier? Kind of in that Klaxons indie rave sort of era. I was a massive fan of that album. So yeah, that's a new one from yeah. So moving on, we've got loads more tunes here. We've got a decent packed playlist. I'm still waiting on resident DJ and music aficionado, Mr. Ainsley Gregson, who's going to tune in with his picks for this week. We've got the Power Half Hour coming up, of course. This just in from Lindsay. It's all going a bit wrong for England in the cricket as well. Not that I know anything about that. So we'll restrict the cricket banter just for this week's episode, and Rob will fill you in on all the gory details next week. I'm going to play a band that we had on Confessional Festival. I know we mentioned Confessional Festival quite a lot, but it's because it's a truly magnificent one-day festival in Blackburn that should have been taking place this weekend. So it's a sad time in Confessional HQ. There'll be a few tears shed today over what could have been over the weekend, but we must do our bit to prevent the spread of that rotten virus, and unfortunately that means putting Confessional Festival off until next year. It's got an absolutely stellar lineup next year, with it's featuring the Orioles, just to name one of many. Get yourself over to their website confessionalfestival.com and check out the full lineup, because it will be class. But also have a little browse through previous lineups. Deja Vega, we had on stage, already played it. I'm going to play someone else who's already played it, but they've had the Blinders, they've had International Teachers of Pop, they've had some of the best up and coming acts, hits of radio, BBC Radio 6 Music and beyond. Not that we mentioned that rotten corporation on this on these airwaves, but this is from a band called the Ninth Wave, who I believe, if I remember rightly, were from Glasgow. It's their new track, I'm Only Going to Hurt You. I absolutely love it. Cheers to Ainsley, who got in touch with this one. It's one of his picks for the week. We'll play the others when he jumps on. But yeah, the Ninth Wave, I'm Only Gonna Hurt You, new track from the Glasgow band. I absolutely love this one. Without further ado, let's hear it, shall we?
To be the cause of this harm, but I could never break my own skin and let the blood spill into open arms. You're a pain in my chest, the softest thorn in my side, the perfect sort of heartache, and I don't want to watch my severed heart break. And I don't want to watch my severed heart break, 'cause I'm only going to hurt you. And I don't want to watch my severed heart break, 'cause I'm only going to hurt you. I'm gone, I'm gone, I'm gone, I'm going to hurt you. I'm gone, I'm going to hurt you. You have a certain kind of sadness when you know that you will end up in tears, but it's the way that this will happen. This is the way that I will break you, my dear. You're a pain in my chest, the softest thorn in my side, the perfect sort of heartache, and I don't want to watch my severed heart break. I never want to be alone again. I didn't want us to tie in this way.
That was the new track from the 90th Wave, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. Like I said, those guys put on an amazing live show. I think, if I remember rightly, they're a 6-piece, but I'm really kind of making this up as I go along here. But they do have some cracking live sessions on YouTube. So not right now, because you're with me, stick with me. But when after the show, feel free to jump over and have a look on their YouTube, because they do really good live reproductions of a lot of the tracks, and it's quite especially if you're into like music technology and synthesizers and the whole like digital recreation of music. They're a very talented bunch to watch them actually replicate those sounds live. Big shout out to Ben Booker. We played one of his productions earlier on in the form of Deja Vega, their new EP coming out. He's drinking a fine Hawkshead sour at the minute upon his jollies. Shout out to Rob Johnston, who's in Margate and has left me on my Todd. Cheers. And my grandma Joan, Ruth Thompson, and everyone who's tuned in to this week's show, as well as all the usuals. I've been instructed to get a bevy, but I'm currently on a no drinking hype. So my glamorous assistant might be bringing me a coffee over if I say please nice enough shortly. In the meantime, I'm going to crack on with some more banging new tunes. This one, it's got a very interesting name. Milk and Vinegar. In fact, before we get onto that, I'm going to go over a bit more like current affairs news. Not sure if anyone's noticed, but we're kind of in the middle of a bit of a lockdown at the minute, which is kind of restricting us from doing the things we want to do. I don't know. Like you might have heard about this thing called COVID in the news. I don't really watch the news anymore, but as a result of this, it's been a bit of a struggle getting schools to go back to school because obviously I don't know if anyone's ever encountered children on a day-to-day basis, but they tend not to be the most hygienic nor distancey people in the world. They tend to spread anything that they've got within the circles as quickly as humanly possible, whether it be nits, the common cold, or in this case, the COVID virus. And trying to get them to wash their hands is like trying to get a tortoise to run a marathon. Just ain't happening. One result of this, I've actually seen on Facebook, I was howling laughing at this one. A school that shall remain nameless. That one of my friends has a friend of a friend in. Basically, we'll keep the names out of this one. They had 58 pupils in one day, all complain of a loss of taste, and as a result, had to be sent home immediately and quarantined for 2 weeks. Bear in mind, these kids are, 12, 13 years old? What 12, 13-year-old pupil in the United Kingdom isn't going to, given the opportunity, say, oh, miss, I can't taste anything. I'm going to have to go home and have 2 weeks off school. I think they made it about 5 days into term before that one started spreading like wildfire. And this particular school had to send 58 pupils home in 58 pupils in one day had to go home because they're all going, I can't taste my food. So now all that the school luncheon is serving are pasta and vinegar and milk. So you have pasta with milk and vinegar on your pasta, and if you can eat it, you get to go home for 2 weeks. But if you can't eat it, you have to stay in school because you haven't lost your taste, which I think is a fantastic story. I absolutely love that one. The reason I quote that is because this latest band that we're about to play are called Big Fat Big. Great new band that Rob Scott is on to, even though he's away this week. This is a new single out on the 3rd of September. They're an all-girl band, absolutely fantastic. It's called Milk and Vinegar, which seem to be the two staple items on any school dinner menu here on in. But it's a Clash track anyway. I don't think this is why they named it. It's probably way too reactive for that to be the story behind the lyrics. But it is an absolutely belting song, so stay tuned. Here it goes.
The progression of our self-expression. This
That was Old Girl Band, Big Fat Big, with their new single, Milk and Vinegar. That was out on the 3rd of September. Great little tune, that. Lovely little catchy riff in the middle. I do love a catchy tune. We have a guest, though, ladies and gentlemen, in our waiting room. None other than the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Sucket and Spin resident DJ, Mr. Ainsley Gregson. How are we doing, Ains?
How's it going, mate? You all right?
I ain't too bad. I'm lonely this week. I've been left to fend for myself. No Rob with me. It's
How's it been going?
It's tricky. Yeah, pretty good. We've obviously your help with your request for the playlist. We've got a few more of them to play yet. We had the new tune from Deja Vega on. Their new track, Spitting Gas. They've just announced their tour for next year. Rob's been in touch with a great Weather Watch, which we'll go through soon. But yeah, I've been holding down the fort. How about you?
Yeah, good man. Yeah. You can see I'm still at work, still grafting.
Still grafting, still socially distanced, I hope.
Oh, mate, definitely.
Can't take too many chances these days, can you?
No.
You've got some tunes for us this week. What's your favourite out of the picks that you've got for us this week? Because you sent over quite a few, didn't you?
Yeah. I really like the Spires tune. The
Spires tune. Shall we kick off with that one?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, let's go.
Brilliant. This one is by Spires, and it is called Other Side.
Pretty for many, but it feels so ordinary. It scares me. Lost and I can't be found, and I don't know how. What in the hell am I still doing here? I can't get through one day without feeling the fear. Lost and I can't be found, and I wanna get out. Self-control, I can't feel my heart, I can't find my soul. Lost and I can't be found, and I don't know how. You treat me like a setting sun. I know I'm not the only one. Lost and I can't be found, and I wanna get out. Side. I don't wanna be like the other ones. It's alright, but it's not right for me. Take me where I wanna be. I don't wanna be like the other ones. I don't wanna seem like the only one. It's alright, but it's not right for me.
I don't think you could see that on the camera then, but I was having a great boogie to that one. What a
How good's
tune.
that?
Absolutely, absolutely love it. Just going to stop for a quick shout out to Natalie of Loose Articles fame, who's tuned in up the Discord. Can't say the other word on air, I'm afraid, but you'll be able to see it in the comments. They've got you're having a bit of a soiree for those guys. Some creative input to future projects with Loose Articles, aren't you? Or is it a little bit hush hush at the minute? That
I think it's a little bit hush hush, but yeah,
a little bit hush
something in
hush.
pipelines with
Something in the pipeline. Fans
something
of
a bit special.
Manchester Femme Fatales Loose Articles, stay tuned because there is something magical in the works. Cheers for everyone who's tuned in so far. We still have a bit of an empty power half hour at the minute. We've had a couple of requests come in that are slotted in, but with plenty of room for more. So get in touch, tweet in at Suck It and Spin, jump on the comments. Instagrammers, I mean, you can write to us. It might not get here until Monday, but either way, get in touch however you prefer with your requests for the Power Half Hour, and we will play them as we always do. We've got Weller Watch coming up in about 5 or 10 minutes as well. Ainsley, I've got a doozy for you. Rob's already spotted a celebrity on his travels and he's been in touch. It's a fantastic one. You'll love it. But in the meantime, what have you got up next for us?
I'll go for the Something Inside, the Truces song. I've been listening to the album this week. It's a belting album.
Absolutely fantastic album. For those who don't listen to Suck It and Spin, we've played Truces a few times now. The album that they released this year is amazing. It's Natalie Finley, formerly of Finley, a new project, 2-piece that they've got. They've got a bit more electro. What's the disco track called that they've got?
The Disco.
The disco, amazing track. Would not fall out of place with in a Demented disco set.
Absolutely.
Really? Absolutely
it's like a proper middle, even like a 2 a.m. banger. Then, isn't it?
2 a.m. banger, absolutely. Yeah, that and that track from Man and the Echo that we played the other week would just slot into a disco set. It's very. There's a lot of good sort of DIY indie bands making high quality disco tunes at the minute, and we love that. Keep it coming. Keep these hybrids coming.
It's easy for us.
Anyway, without further ado, this is Truces. This is the hardest band ever to spell. It's is. Which I'll write down on the screen for you when we play it so that you don't miss it. But this is one of the tracks off the album they had out this year. It's called Something Inside, and it's certainly one of the best tracks. Cheers again, Ainsley, for adding this one to the playlist.
Thank you for having us, mate. Thank you very much.
You're coming back. You're not done yet.
explorer George Mallory, who was to die on Mount Everest, was asked why did he want to climb it. He said because it is there. The space is there. And we're going to climb it. And the moon and the planets are there. And new hopes for knowledge and peace are there.
That was Ez with something inside. Real life slow, and it reminds me a little bit of Doves, that track.
Yeah,
their new album,
Polish,
of course. Yeah, their new album, Doves, out this week. We've actually had a request come in for them for the Power Half Hour. So we'll be playing Prisoners by Doves. We've also had a request come in from Susie for The Wedding Present with Apple Pie. One of the great tracks of the 80s. And certainly one of my favourites. But it's almost all we've got time for from the Indie Gregson playlist this week, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sorry, mate. I'm just
it's
all right.
It's all right. It's all right. What have you got for us? What's the last one on your list of tunes this week?
I was thinking I'm going to go with The Ninth Wave.
We've already played that one, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
I think, yes. I think the only one from your list we've got left now is Dead Pony.
Oh, yes. I've only just heard these like the last couple of weeks. I don't know how long they've been going or anything, but they've perked me up a little bit. These I really like them.
Brilliant. Well, let's unleash them on the world and see what the world thinks, shall we? Thanks again for tuning in and filling in for our mate Rob while he's on his travels in Margate. I'll be straight back. No worries. I'll be straight back after this track with our Weller Watch, and we still have some room in the Power Half Hour, so get in touch with your requests. We've already got The Wedding Present, we've already got Doves, and we've got space for some more, so tweet in, comment in, whatever. Thanks for having us, Ainsley. This one is by Dead Pony.
Cheers,
and
pal.
It is called Speak of the Devil. Good evening, my friend.
Over.
That was Dead Pony with Speak of the Devil. Absolutely love that track. It kind of reminds me of a bit of almost female-fronted Royal Blood. Really nice and heavy, but still belting track. Really enjoyed that. Thanks to Ainsley for jumping on, giving us his guest playlist of the week. But without further ado, drum roll, please. We have the Weller Watch. I'm going to put this off for a few minutes because it looks like our Facebook stream has gone down. So let's just ping this one out and pop it back in. If you're still tuned in from Manchester Radio Online, thanks for sticking with us, as always. And I'll throw this back up on Facebook. I'll play one more track. This is we played this one before, but I love these guys. I think they're fantastic, and we're going to hear some really big things from them this week. I think rumour has it Radio 1 has already picked up on them. A bit slow to the table, as usual, considering we played this a few weeks ago. It's a new track from Multibeam, and it's called Dimitri. And it is, without a doubt, an absolute banger. That was Multibeam with their new track, Dimitri. I know it's the second time we played that one, but I don't care. It's class. I love it. They're great. New three-piece from Manchester, and I absolutely love that track. We've had another request come in for Happy Mondays. Bob's Your Uncle in from Erin of Loose Articles fame. We will no doubt be playing that. We've also got requests for The Wedding Present and Doves, and also our little Weller Watch. Hey, our favourite time of the week. This, Justin, our correspondent in Margate, Mr. Robert Johnston, has been strolling along the seafront today. For those who don't know, there's a band with a rather famous hotel that they've recently opened called the Albion Rooms in Margate, and one member of said band has been spotted in an Indian restaurant close by. Rob has seen the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Carl Barratt. He was sat in an Indian restaurant in Margate this week, which Rob has spotted. Thanks for getting in touch, Rob. Rob's obviously a big fan and regular listener to the show. I asked Rob, I said, what was he up to? He says, oh, he looked like he was eating a curry. I said, oh, could you see what curry it was? He said, yeah, I thought it was quite weird, to be honest with you, because he didn't have any breads. Didn't eat any breads. I mean, who goes to a curry house and doesn't get breads? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's something a bit amiss there. But not only that, I don't know about you. Get in touch with your suggestions. If I go for a curry, my first choice drink is a pint of lager. Nice, cooling, refreshing lager to take the spiciness out of the Indian. Choice number 2 would be the old water, because sometimes it's just a bit too spicy, or maybe even milk, just to take if you're having a Vindaloo, really need something to cool those taste buds down. Carl Barratt was drinking a glass of red wine with his Indian, no breads, red wine, and I said, "What? Could you see what he was eating?" And apparently, he was eating a dal. So there you have it. Carl from the Libertines eating a dal in a curry house in Margate. That's your Weather Watch for this week. So thank you, Rob, for getting in touch with that one. We're going to add some Libertines to the Power Half Hour on that basis, but in the meantime, this is a track from a band called Home Counties. We've played these before. They did a great tune called Dad Bod. This is a new one they've got out called Redevelopment. You can imagine what it's about. I'll not divulge much of the lyrical content before we play them, but give this a listen. Turn it up live. We really like Home Counties, and this is their new one, Redevelopment.
Of concrete anonymity. Horizon underpass is weathered. Of unaffordable luxury apartments. Then where's it gonna be? Redevelopment. Redevelopment. Redevelopment.
That was Home Counties with their new track Redevelopment. Once again, absolutely love those guys. They had another track out called Dad Bod, which we played a few weeks ago. Consistently just releasing great tunes, so keep an eye on those because there's no doubt going to be plenty of high quality music coming from those guys. We've got 15 minutes before the power half hour. We've just had some more requests come in. I'm being inundated with requests left, right, and centre here. We've got Happy Mondays, Bob's Your Uncle. We've got Wedding Present. We've got what else have we got? We've got Doves. We've got the Libertines. We've got Half Man, Half Biscuit. Joy Division Oven Gloves. That's in from Tom Ainsworth. We'll be playing that without a doubt. Nice full power half hour. What I like to see before we get there, this new track from a band called Paracetamol. I don't know much about these ones. It's one that Rob has kindly playlisted for me in his usual spectacular fashion. The track is called Black Sugar. He also don't know what Black Sugar really refers to. But this is the lead single off the album Behave, which was out on the 28th of August. They're from Holland. They're very good. And they're called Paracetamol. That was Dutch band Paracetamol with their track Black Sugar. I really like those guys. They've got a bit of a Hives feel. I don't mean to lump them into a Scandinavian stereotype. They've got a bit of a punky Hives feel to them, or a bit similar to the Viagra Boys that we had on last week as well. Viagra Boys have, of course, released details of their European tour next May to June. Try and cop a ticket for that. I kind of think they're doing Invisible Wind Factory in Liverpool. I don't know if they're doing a date in Manchester, but they're playing all over Europe. Definitely a band worth seeing. I've watched some of the live sessions on YouTube. Absolutely fantastic. Dying to catch them live. We've had a couple more requests in for the Power Half Hour. We're going to play some Half Man, Half Biscuit. We're going to play some Wedding Present. We're going to play some Dubs. We're going to play some Happy Mondays. We're going to play some Slipknot as well, apparently. Ooh, that's a risky one, isn't it? But in the meantime, we've got the last of the new music for this week's playlist. This is, I had to Google how to pronounce this one, not going to lie. It's by Alvaretti, and you'll see when I put on the little screen below why I struggled so much with this one. She's an Irish singer, really good track, absolutely love it. It's another one that Rob has kindly playlisted. Put my teeth back in, sorry. Playlisted for me this week. I have no other information other than that and how to pronounce the name, but I feel like that was well researched in itself. So without further ado, this one is Alvaretti, Between Your Teeth.
I hate it when we fight, but you make me feel stupid. I protect my ego. Round in circles we go. Twisting railway lines, coming back, I'm feeling like I think too much. I think for both of us, I can't hide it anymore. Just to hold her on the bathroom floor. Wait till it's over. Sleep next to me, fall beneath, just to hear you speak the words between your teeth. If there is something, please don't torture me. I think too much. I think for both of us, I can't hide it anymore. Just to hold her on the bathroom floor. Wait till it's over. Wait till it's over. Just to hear you speak the words between your teeth. Just to hear you speak the words between your teeth. I can't hide it anymore. Just to hold her on the bathroom floor. Wait till it's over.
That was Alvaretti, Between Your Teeth. Lovely, lovely, lovely track. Really enjoyed that one. You might be able to see on the screen at the minute, and I posted in the comments, jump onto YouTube because we have already been once kicked out of our little home here by Facebook, and we no doubt will do again. But YouTube seems to be a bit more stable for avoiding those sort of dropouts and whatnot. That's about all I've got time for new music. I'm going to play the Cribs new one again just because it's absolutely epic. Congratulations to Jeff and anyone else who managed to get tickets to see them play with the music at the big, huge gig they've announced. Them, the Coral, the Music, loads of others. Big leads line up that next year. So congratulations to anyone, as I said, who got who managed to cop tickets for that. This is their new track. It's called Running Into You, and it is so typically Cribs that I can't get over how brilliant it is. And it goes a little something like this.
My prostate there in your old house. Find me on the balcony, the new owners top down, watching you in my memory, waiting for me to come back around. They're always running, they're always running into you. They're always running, they're always running into you. Now I'm in the muddy hot set and on the swings with the freedom that you gave to me. Trying to work out what it is that means. That clock stopped long ago, but life still went on. If I could only write a favorite song, still be in the head when I'm gone. They're always running, they're always running into you. 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 They're always running, they're always running into you.
That was the Cribs with their new track Running Into You. They've got a new album coming out. They've got a new tour underway. It's good to see the Germans back in action again. That's all I've got time for in terms of new music, but stick with us for the Power Half Hour we've got coming up. We've got the Happy Mondays. We've got the Wedding Present. We've got Half Man Half Biscuit. We've got Doves. We've got Slipknot. And we've got a couple more slots free. So get your requests in, jump on the comments, drop me a message, whatever you want to do, whatever your favourite medium is. Get those last couple of requests in. I'm going to kick this on out for Erin in Loose Articles. It's the Happy Mondays with Bob's Your and Co.
What do you want to hear when we're making love? What do you want to hear when we're making love? Can I take you from behind and hold you in my arms? What do you want to hear when we're making love? Can I take you from behind and feel you in my heart? What do we need to relive to bring us close? Why don't you do it to me? Why don't you do those things to me? Why don't you do it to me? Why don't you do those things for me? Four in a bed, three getting head, one getting wet. those things? Why don't you do those things to me? Why don't you do those things? Why don't you do those things to me?
Manchester's finest Happy Mondays there with Bob's Your Uncle off Pills, Thrills and Belly Aches. Gonna go over the Pennines now and get over to Leeds for some wedding present. Certainly one of my favourite bands. Nearly sent on a wild goose chase searching for wedding presents apple pie until I realised this one's actually called Kennedy. But thanks for the request nonetheless, Susie. This is the wedding present.
You've got to let some people party loves the TV show. Lost soul of life. Too much apple pie. Oh, have you lost soul of life? Too much apple pie. And that Paris walks away with Johnny's wife.
Absolutely love The Wedding Present. I reckon they're probably one of my top 10 bands of all time. Really enjoyed that. They've got countless good tunes. I actually was speaking to a friend of mine, a promoter in Liverpool the other day, who said he's not heard much Wedding Present before. So if you are one of those people out there that haven't given the Wedding Present much of a listen before, get yourself onto Spotify or whatever platform you prefer, give the best of a run through and then start getting to the albums, because they're class. Like they should easily have been as big as any of the other huge sort of shoegaze bands coming out of the 80s, but sometimes get often overlooked. I'm gonna crack on with a power half hour into a new track from Doves. They've got their album out this week. Always love these guys. Fantastic Manchester band. It used to be Sub, progressed into Doves. I went to see them at King George's. They were nothing short of incredible. This is a new track off their album. It's called Prisoners. Whole album's fantastic. Give it a listen. They should have the chart position by now. I'll find out what it was while this track's on, and hopefully there'll be cause for getting the old bubbly out after we've listened to it. This one's called Prisoners.
State of mind, oh friend, it's been a while. We blood grounds. I was sent to a place of innocence. Hello, old friend. We can't pretend we're not prisoners of this life. Just prisoners. We're just prisoners of these times. Although it won't be for long, we're just prisoners. Hello, old friend. It's been a while. It's me again. We're just prisoners of this time. But it won't be for
Doves there with their new tune, Prisoners. Absolutely love that album. Give the album a listen, it's great. I mean, Doves have always been absolutely fantastic, but continue to make fantastic music. And it's really good to see Jimmy Goodwin and the lads back together, bringing some top tunes out. On some Libertines now. This one's for my partner in crime, Rob Johnson, who's currently sunning it up in Margate. Spotted Corbarat for the Weller Watch. Couldn't believe that. This is one of my favourite Libertines tunes. This one goes out to Rob. It's called I Get Along.
On the carpet, I was following the lines of moonlight wolves. They said something ain't quite right. You got the devil on your side, standing to your right. Come on. You caught me in the middle days of the tears. I was following a good step, fancy free and footloose. Something ain't quite right. You got the devil on your side, standing to your right. Come on, oh come on. I get along. I get along. I get along. I get along. Get along. It's coming out like you, so baby, here's what we'll do. Four for you and nine for him. Stay for her and everything now. So that ain't quite right. But if you get them on your side, then you'll have a good time. Come on. I get along. I get along. I get along. I get along, get along. I get along just singing my song. People tell me I'm wrong. Fuck 'em. It's coming out by you, so baby, here's what we'll do. Four for you and nine for him. Six for her and lives here now. So that ain't quite right. You got the devil on your side, standing to your right. Come on. get along. I get along. I get along. I get along. And when I do, I sing like get along, 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 get along.
That was the Libertines there with their final track off Up the Bracket, I Get Along. Of course, Carl Barrett fronting that one, that particular track. Very, very good. Very underrated Libertines track. You tend to hear the likes of Can't Stand Me Now and Don't Look Back Into the Sun pretty much plastered all over any indie playlist, but you never really hear I Get Along played out that often. But it's definitely one of my favourites. Next one goes out to Tom Ainsworth of Rhyming Idleness. It's half man, half biscuit from Merseyside. I've only just got into these recently on a few friends' recommendations. This one is called Joy Division Oven Gloves.
Well, it says she's too hot. Yeah, but guess what? I got Joy Division oven gloves. Every turn desire, I'll put my fingers in the fire. Cause I got Joy Division oven gloves. I got Joy Division oven gloves. Ooh, tropical diseases. Ooh, chemical alarm. Ooh, I'm a little blase. And me Joy Division oven gloves. And me Joy Division oven gloves. Oh, and I've been here and I've been there. Every Joy Division oven gloves. I've been to a post-punk postcard fair. Every Joy Division oven gloves. Ooh, Nagasaki towpath. Ooh, tickling the lead. Ooh, checking out the Quantocks. Every Joy Division oven gloves. Every Joy Division oven gloves. On a sinking ship, a sailor yearns. Near old fiddles, well Gordon Burns. Talk to the hands, talk to the hands. Dance, 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 dance. Ooh, Piccadilly shin pads. Ooh, polishing the nave. I keep wicked from the Quakers. Every Joy Division oven gloves. 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 Oven gloves, 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 oven gloves. Every Joy Division oven gloves. My grandfather's clock was too tall for the shelf, so I sold it and opened up a stall. Selling Joy Division oven gloves. We got Joy Division oven gloves. Get your Joy Division oven gloves. Hallelujah.
Cheers to Tom for that one. That was half man, half biscuit, Merseyside's finest with Joy Division oven gloves. The band The Beatles could have been. I think not. They exceeded them. Next up, this is for Natalie of Loose Articles fame. A bit heavy for our normal tastes, but heck, it's Friday night. Get yourself a beer. Get your let your hair down and marshal onto this one. It's Slipknot with Duality.
It's the only thing that slowly stops the ache. But it's made of all the things I have to take. Jesus in Neverland, and pussy
gotta say, and then I swear I'll go away, but I can't promise you'll enjoy the noise. I guess I'll save the best for last. My future seems like one big past. You're left with me cause you left me no choice. I push my fingers into my eyes. It's the only thing that slowly stops me. If the pain goes on, I'm not gonna make it. Put me back together, or separate the skin from bone. Leave me all the pieces, then you can leave me alone. Tell me the reality is better than the dream, but I found out the hard way. Nothing is what it seems. I push my fingers into my eyes. It's the only thing that slowly stops me. But it's made of all the things I have to take. Jesus, it never ends. It works its way inside. If the pain goes on, I'm not gonna make it. All I've got is insane. 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 I push my fingers into my eyes. It's the only thing that slowly stops me. But it's made of all the things I have to take. Jesus, it never ends. It works its way inside. If the pain goes on, I'm not gonna make it. All I've got is insane. All I've got is insane. All I've got is insane. All I've got is insane.
Love that track. I always find it quite surprising how melodic it is in the chorus. If you actually listen to that vocal melody, it's almost like a pop tune, but overlaid with some proper rock and roll heavy metal. Anyway, that's all I've got time for this week. Thanks very much for tuning in and bearing with me on the Suck It and Spin Show. Cheers for everyone who tuned in, both on Manchester Radio Online, on YouTube, on Twitter, and in person. We'll tune in next week. We'll be back at the usual time at 6 p.m. You'll have both me and Robert, so you won't have to put up with my shoddy banter on my own anymore. This last track is by Arctic Monkeys, one of my favourites. It's by Brick.
Break by break. Brick by